You have a 42-inch fence all the way around this field. Why?
Yeah, fence. We didn't talk about fence. We recommend that you protect your investment. We've done 90-some design. Well, we're over 100 now of what we've designed. We've got about 60 or 70 in the ground. We haven't done one yet that we haven't fenced.
Oh, that's consistent with what I've heard.
This is an area where you could do it, but we always worry about some kid on a dirt bike, which I know here there aren't a lot of dirt bikes. A lot of our clients, there are. We worry about kids getting out there even on bicycles and locking up their brakes and skidding on the turf and pulling some of it out perhaps. And we worry about cars. We could easily, with bollards, keep the cars off the field and take the fence right out of the park. But you'd still have the potential for the occasional motorcycle or bicycle.
What was I going to say? I still have a number of things, and I'm trying to decide which one. First of all, with regard to the heating issue, you said it can become a factor after about 80 and above. Mm-hmm. For the last 5 years, just so you know, for June, July, and August, the mean temperature in New Jersey was over 80 degrees. So we're going to have that in those months.
The mean high, yeah.
Yeah, the mean temperature. No, the mean temperature in
Each
those
day?
months was above 80 degrees, yes.
Not for the whole day, can't be.
I'm just telling you what I read. I took offline today. And I'm sorry, that's the daytime temperature, mean daytime temperature, not including the night.
Right.
And so we are going to have to deal with that, but like you said, maybe there's expected to be less usage during those times. Also, I read, and tell me if this makes sense to you, a lot of places that did their feasibility for usage usually assumed that there would be no usage between the hours of 11 and 3 during those 3 summer months, specifically for that. Does it make any sense for us to make those kinds of assumptions?
You can assume that if you want to assume that. I don't think it changes the feasibility necessarily because essentially all of our active program wasn't occurring in July and August.
Well, what I'm looking at is, and you're doing your cost per hour. You're assuming, you said that we'd have the ability to use it 2,200 hours, and that's on the assumption from May 1st, if I remember, to the end of November.
Right.
But that's essentially that's how long it's available. The question is,
that's including all the summer weeks. We didn't get that.
Well, there's that, and then this is why I was asking the question earlier with regard to when you were talking about programming. Is it the existing programming? Is it the proposed programming, or something in between upon which you're basing that 2,200? Or are you just saying because if we don't have anywhere near 2,200 hours of programming, is that really the right analysis to do?
Well, we put that in there as a reference point. Let's say you cut that in half, 1,100 hours of usage. Yeah. You're still at or below the natural turf cost per hour of use.
Yeah, but it's not doubled or tripled.
But we're not trying to sell this per se, and we're certainly not trying to sell it as a cost savings. Because if you look at it in pure dollars and just forget about the hours of use, it generally comes out to about a wash.
Yeah, exactly.
But we like to throw the hours of use in there just to show that, it is a savings when you look at it that way.
I just asked, the hours of use calculation, the cost for the hours of use does include the maintenance?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
It includes the maintenance, the hours of use figure. Yeah.
But not the disposal of the turf at the end of its useful life. Going back to the fence question again, or new one. Going back to your thing about the fence, do you think if you didn't put a fence that it would impact the warranty on the product?
You certainly wouldn't be you're not covered by vandalism typically anyway.
Right.
I
just was wondering if you
may get more of an argument from a rep saying it was vandalism. There's no fence here.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think it's going to impact it either way. The warranty doesn't require it to be fenced, that's for sure.
Well, let's get into that in the maintenance. If there is vandalism, what typically happens? What is the obligation of the manufacturer? Or if there's not vandalism, but there's a piece of the field that's...
Okay, if there's damage, the repair, let's just say a seam separates. That's a failure. Turf company would come out and repair that seam, either sew it, glue it, or both. If there was, if it became unlevel, that would probably be your contractor and his sub base, and so you'd be after him. But that would have, if you're going to get any settlement, that would usually occur within the first year, unless somebody gets out and drives on the field or something in extremely wet conditions or something and made a rut. If you have vandalism, then obviously you just call that the turf company. They'll come out and repair it, whether they have to cut out a piece of carpet, put in a new, whatever they have to do. But that obviously wouldn't be under warranty.
Any other questions, Mr. Luca?
Thank you. I want to thank you for the report because it was helpful in crystallizing some thinking and raising some questions. I have a number of questions which I'm going to refer to the page, and
Okay.
it's pretty fast. On page 22 of 30,
Yeah.
I just want to understand the number you mentioned earlier. It says that the synthetic turf will displace approximately 140,000 square feet of grass. Now, you also said earlier that I think turf was going to add 1,500 square feet of playing space. Is that correct?
What? No, I said it's
15,000?
about 15,000 square feet more. Yeah.
We are talking 140,000 square feet of grass.
That's correct.
That includes that 15,000 more.
Yes.
On page 19, 30, you mention a above-grade heated water system housed in a heated above-grade enclosure in the vicinity of Toronto Court. I was looking
Right.
at I don't see it on the map. How big is that going to be, and where would that be?
Yeah, we didn't show it on the map. Typically, it would be a box about the size of that table. Stainless steel or painted box about the size of that table, sits on the ground. It just has the valving in it and the meter, typically, backflow preventer, and it's got a little heater. Because with today's confined space entry, they tend to bring that stuff up above grade instead of putting it down in manholes like they used to.
Is there any noise that...
No, it's simply a water valve. There wouldn't be any noise whatsoever.
On page 14 of 30, I want to discuss the parking a bit more. You identify 64 existing off-street parking spaces.
Yes.
And you talk about, as you said earlier, your suggestion would be to add the 24 at Newark Way to bring it to 88.
That's correct.
And then you talk about 31 of the existing 64 are suitable for tandem parking, to have a car in front and a car in the back.
Yeah. What happens now along Burnett, the spaces are very deep. They're probably close to 40 feet deep. So you get, call it stadium-style parking. You get people doubled in there. You get two cars in each space.
Did any of your analysis of that, because you're suggesting it, was any of the analysis a safety analysis as far as backing out onto Burnett from that second car?
No, we didn't consider.
And